So again,
It's
welcome
already.
everybody. I hope you can
Okay.
see and hear me. I'm Pete Longman. I've met most of you, if not all of you, with LWS. We also have Simon on the line, Dave Snell also. And we're joined by Fred Flezar from Solem, which I'll come back to in a moment. Fred's joining us. He's the commercial and marketing director. So let me just tell you what's going to happen hopefully over the next hour. We're going to have some introductions. We're going to introduce Fred to you and Solem, and then the product range. I'm going to talk a little bit about LoRa technology and what a difference it's going to make to us technologically in the future, and what a difference it makes in the irrigation industry as a starting point. And then Fred's going to take over, and we're going to look at the product range from Solem that LWS are going to offer in the future, and their applications, and we're going to look at the software too, and some case studies that have and some existing applications that have been put in place. So that's a software demo, and then we'll finish with questions and answers. If you've got questions throughout the meeting, just put them in the chat box. Hopefully you can click on the chat box, ask a question, and then we'll either take it straight away or we will answer it at the end. And if we don't know the answers, we'll get the answers to you. And that's one of the reasons for having Fred on, who's a great expert in this subject. We're going to record this webinar because we've had a lot of people say, are you recording it? We can't make it, but are you recording it? So we're going to record it, and then we'll host it on YouTube and just have it we'll send a link out afterwards. And again, thanks for joining us. We know an hour in your days is an important amount, and we're very grateful for your commitment coming and joining us and seeing about this new product range. So with that, let me introduce to you Frederic Flezar from Solem. He's on the line with us. You can't see, his camera's not working, but you can see him. That's what it looks like, everybody. He's the commercial and marketing director. So Fred, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself, and I've got some company slides coming up.
Yes, thanks a lot, Peter. I'm really sorry, and I apologize for not being capable to let you see my face physically. But I have a really nice picture to let you understand who am I. I am Frederic Flezar. I'm the sales director for Solem. I am working for Solem for now 5 years, a little bit more than 5 years. I am in charge of the sales all over the world. So of course I have some teams working with me. I have area managers to manage Middle East, Africa, Iberica, and in the US we have as well 4 sales guys over there. Solem, maybe if you go further. Okay, thanks a lot, Peter. Few words about Solem. Solem, the company is a French company, so we are producing all our products. We developed, we produce, and we maintain our products, software, application, platform, product, physical and technical products. As you can see, we are located in the south of France in Montpellier. Of course, all of you guys, if you are welcome, and if one day you are in France or close to Montpellier, do not hesitate to call me, and I will be very, it will be a great pleasure to let you visit our company. We're all coming, Fred, every one of us. For sure, and you are all invited, and it will be a great pleasure to make the next meeting in France. Next, please. As you can see, Solem, we are a professional for IoT products, and today Solem is existing for 40 years. The company was created in 1984. We are 180 co-workers, mostly 95, 96% in France, in the south of France. And as I was saying, we have 1% in Saudi Arabia, 1% in Egypt, and 4% in the US. We are present in 30 countries, and the turnover of the company is this season 37 million euros. Very important for all of you, and very important for Solem, we are ISO 9001 on the full process of the company, meaning from R&D through industrialization, production, and the support. We are part of the Irrigation Association, and we are part of the EIA. We are EIA members. Last but not least, Solem, let's say that the company, the holding company called Primal, is holding 3 brands. The first brand is called Attentive. This is telecare, healthcare business for elder people living alone at home or in some healthcare centers. We have a dedicated and we have developed some specific products to manage and to help those people to live in good conditions at home and to be capable to launch alerts in case of something is going wrong. Indigo is the brand for the connected pool. So this is for pool specialists. And the last one we will go through today is Solem, connected irrigation. And this is the main business which is driven for the last 40 years. And today, just to let you have an idea, Attentive and Solem is representing 90% of our incomes. With Solem products, we are capable to provide you specific products to manage dedicated areas, such as residential watering, connected municipality, let's say commercial side, depending on the terms you will use in the UK, so commercial, connected agriculture, so we have as well dedicated products for the ag market, and we have a range of products as well to manage what we call the connected garden, with a dedicated app to manage irrigation, pool, and lighting products.
Okay. Thank you, Fred. Fred will be back on in just a moment. But I wanted to start, I was trying to find a way to start and capture your imagination about the kind of technology that Solem has. And I wanted to start by saying that if you think about devices that are connected to the internet today, they're either largely mains powered, so you've got a PC at home plugged into the mains, a Fire Stick, for example, plugged into the mains, or an air fryer, for example, plugged into the mains. These are devices which are power hungry, and being connected to the mains, you either have to be directly connected 100% of the time, or you have to charge devices regularly, even mobile phones. See the Nokia 6210, I'll put that in for a bit of fun. Even a vacuum cleaner that vacuums the house has to go back and regularly charge itself. So iPads you have to charge every day, every other day. So whether it's mains powered or with a battery, you have to charge them very regularly. So what happens when you have a device like a irrigation controller, or devices in the future that are going to be this LoRa isn't just a technology that's heading for the irrigation industry. It's a global industrial standard. We're going to have, or we're driving towards having battery powered technology that's not connected to the internet. It doesn't have a SIM card, and it doesn't have Wi-Fi built in, but because, as we've just described, these devices potentially need a lot of power. So, but if you put a radio device, a special radio device into your module, then you can use radio, small packets of information, and that go long distances, and then you've got an internet connected device that you can access from anywhere in the world. So LoRa itself can be, it looks like a device like this. You build this device into whatever you're making, whether it be irrigation, it could be a panic button, for example, and it could be at a high altitude. These radio frequencies could be up to 10 kilometers. But at low altitudes, through plant rooms, it could be anywhere between 200 and 1500 meters in normal operations. These are the distances we're seeing with these devices when you put them in the ground. Very low power, so going from lithium batteries to you can use a 9-volt battery in your connected device and still go those distances and have long operating lives. And it does it, this technology, and it gets a bit technical here, but it uses radio technology called chirp spread spectrum modulation. So it uses a wide frequency and modulates over that frequency to get very secure and robust small packets of information over long distances with low power. So I hope that's the direction we're heading in. So this is an example of what devices you'll see which are non-irrigation. It could be a GPS tracker or a humidity sensor, panic button, parking sensors in garages, for example, with no wires required. So it's using short packets of information going through a gateway. So those devices connect 800 meters away to a gateway, which is connected potentially to the internet by Wi-Fi or SIM card, for example, going through a cloud, and that's how you can see it on your mobile PC. Mobile or PC. So to replicate that with Solem products, and this is where we'll dive in, and Fred's going to give you more examples. We've got a LoRa gateway, Solem LoRa gateway, which is going through a cloud server and again attaching to a mobile device or PC, which you can see. But the battery operated device on the left hand side, these are the things that are in the field with communicating with that spread spectrum technology. So these are the modules, so the irrigation modules, and you can see one here with a turbine on the bottom. That's the one on the second one down. So it can be connected to your pipe and taking power from the water flow and recharging the battery to give it extra long life. And we have a solar panel version too, but also sensor modules. So not only control and irrigation, Fred's going to talk to us a little bit later on about the sensors that you can connect and what that can look like and how they can work as a group. So Fred, maybe you want to jump back into these slides, if that's okay.
Okay, thanks a lot, Peter. Just in a few words, you have a quick representation of our portfolio. Our portfolio for this LoRa technology is based on 4 pillars. First of all, you would have gateways, 4G, Wi-Fi gateways. Whatever the technology is, in any case, we would have the LoRa technology in order to communicate between all our modules and the gateway in LoRa, and then the gateway will communicate with the cloud either in 4G or in Wi-Fi. We have a range of controllers, long range of controllers, 9 volt, 24 volts. So depending if you have the ability to be powered supplies or not, you can use either 24 volt solution or 9 volt solution. All our modules are integrating by default Bluetooth technology and the LoRa one. We have sensors modules to monitor, and we will see just after a different set of sensors, such as pressure, so moisture, temperature, air hygrometry, rainfall, and so on and so on. And we have a last one, which is dedicated for lighting and automation. For example, if you want to manage the motor of your fountain, this module, the LROL, is capable to manage at distance the motor. Next. Okay. To explain you the technology, maybe this representation will be easier to understand. At Solem, we don't care about the technology regarding the gateway. Whatever the kind of gateway you are using, Wi-Fi, 4G, the target is once you know where located your valve in the field. So this is an example in a city. So each time you can see one controller or one sensor module, you are capable to design a circle, a bubble. Imagine that each time you put a gateway, 4G, Wi-Fi, it doesn't matter, you create a LoRa bubble with a radius of 800 meters. Each time you create this bubble, you will connect up to 25 modules with a 4G gateway, up to 30 modules with a Wi-Fi gateway. As soon as your gateway is fully crowded and fully connected with all the modules, you can put another gateway in order to create another bubble and again to pair controllers, sensors, all what you need. At the end, for your customer, you don't care about I have 1 gateway, 2 gateways, 3 gateways, 10 gateways. There is no limitation. At the end, you will be capable to aggregate all these modules inside your account, and the customer will see at the end only the number of stations, like having a big controller, and to manage all the irrigation of your city, of a big green, of a big space, or for example in an hotel or whatever. You will be capable to manage all your irrigation controllers and sensors. Next step. You will see that most of the time with Solem, we are talking about a scalable solution. Start small, scale fast. Why? If you want to start very easily with a user-friendly solution, not technical one, but knowing from the beginning that your customer is looking for a remote access in the future, okay, they can start at the very beginning with a local management. In that case, you will sell to your customer the LoRa technology with a controller called LRIP, but the customer, can you click on next, please? 2 times, you will see over there that the operator, the technician, is moving in the field close to the module, so less than 10 meters far from the modules, and you will manage manually your controllers. Next. Now, in a second step, your customer is familiarized with the technology, happy about the robustness and the easiness of the application. In this case, they want to move to the remote management. No need to change the controllers. They will just evolve by adding gateways, 4G, Wi-Fi. Can you, next please? And as soon as you will connect this Wi-Fi or 4G gateway, the module will connect and will communicate under the LoRa technology directly to the cloud. So no longer need for the technicians to move in the field and to go close to the modules. Next, please. The next option after that is what I was talking about, is to aggregate controllers. How to aggregate controllers? We have created a feature which is called cluster. For sure, with the COVID-19, cluster was not a very nice and sexy word, but cluster means exactly to aggregate all your modules. So there is, again, no limitation. What is very important is one main source, one main pipe means one cluster. Whatever the number of controllers you would have after that, second line, third line, subdivision. In this very simple case, you can see that we have 3 controllers, 1 station, and we are capable at Solem and because we have created a dedicated controller called LRPM, LR for LoRa technology and PM for pump management. When you connect this LRPM to the master valve or to the pump through a relay, we are capable to automatically synchronize all the irrigation schedules coming from the other controllers directly inside this master valve. So each time one controller will decide, okay, 6 a.m. I have to switch on, the master valve will switch on automatically at 6 a.m. I have to switch off at 10 and nobody is taking care, is no longer taking the lead after that. The LRPM will switch off at 10 a.m., for example. Next, please. The big advantage to have this LRPM, so this master valve, even if we are talking about a unlimited number of products, if you connect a water meter to this LRPM, having the knowledge of all the schedules coming from the field for all the controllers, if your flow meter is detecting a flow outside a schedule, you will receive an alert of risk of leakage. But what is very important as well is that this water meter through the LRPM will be capable as well to detect low flow rate, high flow rate, because for each station, the customer will define and will set up what is the flow rate for all the stations. And this is thanks to that the LRPM will be capable to manage at distance and to monitor low flow rate and high flow rate risks. Next, please.
It's coming.
Yeah. How to switch to precision irrigation. The next step now for your customer is to move to the precision irrigation. Next, please. How to manage it? Through the help of sensors, connected sensors, and our best product, which is the irrigation station, which is a 2-in-1 product. First of all, 4G gateway, plus 4 climatic sensors: rainfall, wind speed, air hygrometry, temperature. Over there, you can decide to place, for example, this irrigation station. Let's take an example. I am in London. I am in the south of London. I will put my irrigation. I want to monitor the rainfall. Probably in the north of London, I have some stadium or let's say stadium. And the pluviometry of the rainfall over there won't be equivalent to the one I would have in the south. In this case, I will add another rain gauge or pluviometer with a specific sensor module called LRMS, module sensor, in order to have in 2 different points in the city the rainfall. In this case, can you next please? In this case, if it is raining, the system will be capable to detect the quantity of water. Sorry, I moved too fast. The rainfall will be detected, and you will be capable to switch off your irrigation immediately for 1 day, 2 days, up to 15 days. Now, talking about roundabouts, grass, trees, we are capable to monitor the soil moisture, either the soil moisture with the soil moisture sensors, or to monitor the tension inside the soil. When the roots of the plants are grabbing the water inside the soil, it creates a tension, and the tensiometry is capable to monitor this tension. Next, please. As a quick example, you put inside the valve box your soil moisture. Next, please. And you will install this soil moisture very close to the roots. And this soil moisture will be capable to monitor the quantity of water inside the soils and to provide you everywhere the data about the quantity of water. The second point of the second option is tensiometry. If you place in a very dedicated areas, you can see over there that we have 3 sensors. I won't go in deep detail because we can rediscuss later about that. This is not the intent of today, but by placing those tensiometry in a very dedicated area, you are capable to monitor the bubble of water around the tree, around the roots of the tree. And in this case, during the first 2 years of your tree, you are capable to guarantee that the development of your tree will be done in a proper manner, in depth, in width. And after 2 years, you remove the sensors and you will place the sensors in another area, which means that once you have installed those sensors in a specific area, it's not for life. After 2 years, after 6 months, you decide you can change. You do what you want. Next, please. Okay, this is what I was talking about. This is an example. Next. For the animation, okay, it is raining. I set up a maximum at 10 millimeters. The system, the rainfall is detecting over 10 millimeters of rain. The system will send an alert immediately, go to the gateway. This is an alert, go to the cloud. The cloud will look at the rules. Rules means over 10 millimeters, switch off the irrigation. Then we will move back to the controllers to say to all the modules at a glance, switch off for 1 day, 2 days, up to 15 days. So this is a full automatization based on sensors. The target at the end for a city is to be safe for the mayor, not to be bothered by the people complaining because he's irrigating when it is raining, something well known. But at the same time, with the soil moisture and tensiometry, what is very important is saving water. Very, very important. The target of those sensors is to provide the right quantity of water at the right time. Now I'll move to the maintenance point of view. By using a dedicated controller called sensors called LRPR, LoRa pressure, you are capable to monitor the real pressure from 0 to 16 bars of your main pipe or the subdivision. You can put this sensor wherever you need. Quick example. Through the age, your tubing, your pipe is clogging. So after a while, instead of having, for example, an average pressure of 5 bars, step by step, your pressure will decrease. And thanks to this monitoring, you will be capable to decide, okay, once I will reach 2.5, 3 bars, I need to clean my tubing because after that, I wouldn't have enough pressure and enough flow rate. The second point with this pressure sensor, what is great, if you look on the backside, left back side of the screen, you have some glitch. Each time you have a station which is opening, each time you have one valve which is opening, this is normal to have a single glitch in the graph in order to show that you had a slight drop of pressure and then moving back to the standard pressure. So just by looking at this monitoring, you know on top of that, that if your irrigation installation is working well or not. Next,
Fred, we have a question from Dan Trainer. He said, how many sensors can you have on one gateway?
Good question. As I was saying at the very beginning, it was very fast. Sorry for that. I was saying that on the gateway, you can connect up to, for example, Wi-Fi gateway, you can connect up to 30 modules, 30. Those 30 modules, you can connect controllers or sensors. If you connect only controllers and 6 station controllers, when I say 30 modules, this is, for example, 30 modules, 6 stations. So you can connect up to 180 stations. Moving to the sensors, we have two kinds of sensors, module sensors, 1 input and 4 inputs. If you select, for example, only if you put 25 modules for inputs, it means that you are capable to connect with one gateway up to 100 sensors.
Good, great. Okay, thank you for that. Move on. Okay, if there's any other questions, let us know. If we, if I stop sharing, Fred, and we can look at your screen, if that's okay, for the software.
Yeah, just a few words about that before moving to the live description. As you can see, we have a dedicated platform and a dedicated app. Those two app and platform are free for your customer. This is very important compared to some of our competitors. You have to pay. Of course, we are developing the application and the platform with our own dedicated team. So it means that internally we have an R&D team composed of, globally speaking, 40 to 50 persons, dedicated person for the application, iOS, Android, dedicated persons for the platform, so with the computer, and we have as well dedicated persons for the electronic embedded software. Okay, let's move now to my screen. Check. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Great. So you see the canopy site? So, yes, you can see the canopy site?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. So here I will show you, so this is an interactive and live presentation. I am with one account, so specific account, this is the account of my technical expert. So you will see over there that we have different access. I won't go all the different subjects because we won't have enough time. I would like to focus only on the canopy presentation. Canopy means managing your sites. It means that you can invite who you want on those canopy sites. I am a city. I have 10 people, 3 teams. I will be capable, for example, to create one site over there to manage sports field, and one site over there to manage green areas. In this case, I can invite part of my team, for example, the team A on this site, and I will invite the team B and C to manage this site. I will show you just after how to manage it. Now I want to connect inside my module. I will click on my site, and now I am inside my canopy. Imagine that you are big customers and you are a city, back to the example of London with a lot of green areas. You can create one canopy site per green spaces. In this case, you can add up to 3 pictures to remember where is located or what is this canopy site. Very interesting, you would have a slide dashboard with the main important information. Low level battery, which means that you have to be careful about that and you would have to change the battery during the days, weeks to come. Daily usage, this is the water consumption based on the latest information coming from the gateway, and the risk of leakage. So you would have a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on the risk of leakage detecting by the water meter in the site. Very important, we have different folders over there. You do what you want. You can change the meaning just for information. For example, the site. So this is the example of the location of the site, so the address. Who is the owner of the site, the installation date. Maintenance contact, you can, for example, set up who is the technical contact for this site, who is the maintenance team. Landscape information, plant type of irrigation, so this is a drip irrigation, plant maturity, soil type, site exposure. You can provide instructions, you can provide electronic network, you do what you want. So the big advantage over there is that you can share information with your team, not by paper with the risk of losing the information through the paper management. Here, everybody, once you give the access to this site, they would have access to all this information. Now, if I move to my irrigation canopy site, you see over there that if I de-zoom, you will see that we are really in the south of France, close to Montpellier. So you can see France. This is my site. And now if I zoom in, I will move back to my, sorry for moving fast. You will see that over there, I have designed my site and I have integrated all my modules. Once this is done, it will help you to manage different features. I can launch multiple commands. If I want to winterize my product, in this case, I will go to multiple command. I will select all the modules. I will say I want to switch off all my modules from 1 day to permanent. Select all the modules, just validate, and all your modules will be switched off. I will move back to my map. The second option is, I don't know the name of my module, but I know where they are geolocated. I want to change the program. Very easy. I go to the map. I click on my controller, and I am inside the controller. So here, you can see that you have access to the module. So I can change the program. I have up to 12 programs. So for example, program A with a interval irrigation period of time, so every days from today with a water budget of 100%, one start time and 9:20 for 20 minutes. If I want to integrate another schedule, I can add another, I can edit the program, and I can create a program, for example, ABC program D. Validate. Okay, and now I have a new program, and if I want, I am capable now to customize and to say, for example, odd days, 100%, and I will, okay, I want to, for 1 hour, and yes, because this is on, I will put off on. Okay, and then I will be capable as well to move to the start time. I won't do everything, because if I do everything, I won't be capable to explain you all what I want to show you. So here you can see that we can modify very easily the programming of one controller. Now imagine that you are a city, or you are the technical manager of this site, and you want to understand during the season, I am irrigating and I want to know if my irrigation is running correctly or not. The first point I will go to the satellite view. Now imagine that, not imagine, we are taking the feedback and all the stamps you can see over there is one image grabbed by Sentinel satellites running around the Earth. They are pushing infrared on the Earth, and each time those infrared are moving to the Earth back to the satellite, as much as chlorophyll you have in the field, as much the infrared are absorbed because of this chlorophyll. So if I look, I will take one picture. You can see over there that I would have dark green areas, light green areas, orange and red. Dark green means a lot of chlorophyll, so a lot of vegetation. Light green means less vegetation, and as you can imagine, red means no vegetation. So of course, above the roof, this is normal. Around there, you can imagine that this is like having a drone, and you put your drone at 10 meters. The advantage of the satellite view is not to look in deep details what's about the irrigation, is it running correctly or not? No, this is to have a macro view. And for example, here, imagine that my installation is perfect, my irrigation period of time is great, but I don't have an homogeneous irrigation. Maybe this is because of the homogeneity of the soil, which is not good. Probably over there, I have a clay soil, over there, I have a sandy soil. So maybe I would have to adapt a little bit my irrigation in order to have a better irrigation. Quick example, if I have some shadows in the skies, if I look at the optical site, why I'm completely red, this is because I have a full shadow. If you see there, I'm black. So in this case, I'm capable to monitor and to measure the infrared. If you have too much shadow, 100% of the infrared are moving back to the satellite. So first information. Second information, now I am capable to look at the internet weather forecast today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. Evapotranspiration, solar radiation, wind speed, and rainfall. Based on this information again, I know that, for example, by experience, I know that when I am irrigating, I provide 5 millimeters of water in the soil. If my ETP is less than 5 millimeters, so for example, today 1.3, tomorrow 1 millimeter, after tomorrow 1 millimeter, maybe I will decide I can reduce my irrigation because I will provide too much water to the ground. So this is my second option. Another point now, I will show you, I changed the screen because this is a real customer. This customer is breeding truffles, white and black truffles. You can see over there, so I am inside the supervision mode. I moved to the monthly view back to September because it was still irrigating in September. When you look at those green box, this is the reality of the information providing from the controllers to the valve. So for example, over there, you can see that for this station called 01 bar arrosage, I have irrigated 2 times. One time per day. So 16th of September, I have irrigated from 8:30 to 12:40. I have irrigated 17th of September from 8:30 to 12:40, and the day after from 8:30 to 9:16. So if one of your customers is calling you to say, hey, my irrigation, my controller didn't irrigate September 16th, and I had an issue in the field because of the controller. Just by looking at this supervision mode, you don't need to go to the field and to your customer site. Just looking at this supervision access, you will be capable to say to your customer, hey, Mr. Customer, no. The controller gave the information and send the pulse to the valve to open or close. If the irrigation was not good, maybe this is coming from the membrane. This is maybe coming from the solenoid, an issue with the spring or whatever. So the customer will save time by looking at the root cause of the non-irrigation. So this is over there, this is historical data. I can show you briefly. If I move to August, you will see another case, and you can see over there all the irrigation that were done by this customer. Now I move back to September, and you will understand. Now the second point is, I have the information about historical data. What's about the currency of my irrigation? Is my irrigation working correctly or not? Here, I can check that as soon as I am irrigating, if I have a flow meter connected, you can see that over there, I see that, okay, when I am irrigating, thanks to the water meter, I know that the flow is moving through the pipe. And I am capable to monitor and to know exactly what was the flow rate depending on each station. Have I the right flow rate or not? So the first important information, I know that the irrigation is running well, and I know the flow rate. Now, the second information, I know that my irrigation is working well. What's about the quantity of water inside the soil? Do I provide too much water? Do I provide enough quantity or not? For example, over there, you can see that the customer is using tensiometry. So this is opposite to the soil moisture. When the tensiometry is telling 0 pressure, 0 KPI, it means full of water. When the system is saying, for example, 76 KPI, the soil is dry and it's water. So here you can see that our customer is managing his irrigation thanks to this tensio sensor. As soon as he has reached a specific level, he is switching on his irrigation. It is irrigating, and you can see that immediately the tensio is moving back to 0, meaning enough water. In this case, I will explain why he was irrigating, because the same flow meter of those stations are for another area. So this is why we know that it was important to irrigate. But in this example, you see that now I have irrigating enough. Imagine that I am in the city and I have irrigated 2 times, like what I'm showing you. And the second time, you see that in this area, my tension was already 0. So here I am the technical expert of the city. I can say I can make a saving because I was irrigating the day after, September 17th. It was not necessary because the quantity of water inside the soil was already sufficient with the first day of irrigation. Now, if I look at the curve, I see that now my ground is getting drier, 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 and suddenly I see a peak back to 0. No irrigation, no flow. Maybe I have a risk of leakage. But because I have a rain gauge, no, it's not a leakage, it was raining. So thanks to this information, and only with 3 sensors, flow meter, soil moisture or tensiometry, and rain gauge, I am capable to put under monitoring the irrigation and to know if I have the right quantity of water or not. Okay. You can launch multiple commands. This is what I was showing you. You can manage as well manual commands. I will move back to my own ones because I don't want to make mistakes on the customer site. So for example, if I want to launch manual commands, I can decide, okay, I want to launch a manual command on this controller, and I will be capable to say, I want the manual station, all stations for 1 hour. If I confirm, it will launch a manual command and it will start immediately. Keeping in mind that all the 9-volt battery LoRa controllers, you have a latency of 3 minutes. In order to save the autonomy of the battery, all our 9-volt modules are waking up every 3 minutes, communicating with the gateway, asking the gateway, hey, knocked at the door, do you have a new irrigation schedule? Yes, it will grab it and save it inside the module. No new schedule, the module will move back to the sleep mode. What is very important over there is to understand that even if you lose the 4G connection or if you lose the Wi-Fi connection, it doesn't matter because all your scheduling is integrated and saved in each controller. So if you don't need to change your irrigation schedule, the system reruns every day, even if you lose this cloud connection.
And Fred, what are your experiences of the distances that you can have between the 4G or the Wi-Fi gateway towards the sensor modules or the irrigation controllers?
In agriculture, for example, when we have free site areas, 1 yard, for example, we have been capable, I saw it with my technical expert, we were on the field to manage that. And in this case, we were capable to reach, we were close to 2 kilometers. So we are not talking about a radius of 800 meters. From the gateway to the controller, we were capable to reach globally close to 2 kilometers. Why? Because this customer put the gateway 10 meters height from the roof, so it was very high. And the controller was not located inside the valve box. The controller was 1 meter height in order to grab the signal. This is a very good example. In cities now, the feedback we can have is that depending on the concrete, steel presence, buildings, if you have too much buildings, in some cases, the distance can decrease to 100 meters, 200 meters. The main risk we have seen is that when customers are using valve box with concrete and metallic plate, in that case, if you put the controller or the sensors below a metallic plate and the concrete valve box, you can go, let's say you can decrease the distance sometimes up to 100 meters, 50 meters. In that case, what we recommend to the customer is to dig a hole inside the metallic plate, just to put the antenna close to the surface, or much better to put a plastic valve box on the site. In this case, the customer will be capable to manage it. Just to show you modules, if you move to the modules interface, it will be interesting for the technical manager. You are capable to see all your modules, to double check the communication. If you look at all the red green point, you will see the last communication date. So for example, for that one, it was today at 4:04, so it was 44 minutes ago. I see that the level of the battery, all the battery are at the top, 100%, and mostly all my controllers are enough because we have winterized. We have as well developed what we call the eco mode. Eco mode, I will re-explain later. We can make another, I would say, a video in order to explain, but just to let you see that for these modules, you can see very easily that those modules, the eco mode has been activated. This is to save the autonomy of the battery. And for those one, the eco mode is not activated. Now, one important
point. Just a time check, Fred. We've got about 5 minutes and then questions.
Yeah,
perhaps.
I know. This is the last things I would like to show you. So you have different opportunities to display the information on your dashboard. But if you move to the modules, it means all the modules of your account. If, for example, this is not a good example because all the modules are connected. Maybe if I move back to the other one, modules. Okay, if I click on disconnected, and now I have the list of all my modules which are disconnected. So for example, I can see that there, this is not because of the empty batteries. Let me click on empty batteries. Okay, this is great. Here I have the list of empty batteries. I can say to the system, show me on the map where are located those modules. This is my technical expert. He has access to all the mostly all the sites of our customers. But briefly, you can see over there that if I am the manager of the site, I will be capable. I am located in Spain. I am capable to see exactly where are located my modules in order to call the technicians and to tell him, okay, go to this site and change 2 batteries. So the guy will be capable to order 2 batteries and move to the site and save time.
That's a nice feature.
I'm done. This is a this is really a quick presentation just to give you an overview of what we're capable to do. Next time, what we could do, if you are interested in, I could show you the management of the cluster, how to save time, and how in less than 2 minutes, you are capable to program hundreds of controllers, hundreds of stations, and to auto-sequentialize all your stations. And each time you change the water budget of one station, everything will be recalculated. So this is maybe another video we could organize in order to have time to talk about that.
Brilliant, Fred. Thank you very much for your presentation. And we're going to invite questions. But to summarize, I think what we're seeing here is the ability, as I said at the beginning, to connect devices with low power battery operated devices over long distances and into a real sort of beautiful management suite that you can use to manage and keep on top of those installations. But it's really interesting, Fred. Thank you very much for your presentation. Let's see if anybody's got any questions.
I had one question, Pete. Was when we were looking at the mapping, so we could see the location of every module and every sensor. Fred, did you say that do they have to be placed on a map, or did you say they geolocate, so they populate themselves?
Good question. I didn't explain. No, you're totally right. In fact, we are not using any geotag in each module. The cost will be too expensive. Remember, and this is true that we didn't explain, when you install one Solem module, either in Bluetooth, a Wi-Fi controller, or a LoRa controller, you will need always your cell phone. And this is thanks to your cell phone that you will install the module in the field. So what do? Easily, we use the geolocation of your cell phone in order to geolocate the module. So each time you will install one product in the field, thanks to your cell phone, you go on the geolocation, you click on geolocation, and the product will be automatically geolocated thanks to the cell phone. If you forgot to do it, it's not complicated. Move back to the map, click on the module, click on geolocation, and you will type in the real address. So you have the two options.
Cool.
So it does geolocate by your phone, but not by the unit itself, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. And the other question I had, which when you were showing the example of our the truffle grower, and we were looking at his scheduling. Obviously, he had his rain sensor, he had a moisture sensor, he had flow management or a flow sensor.
Yes. Flow meter, yes.
Was that all set up totally automatic, or can it be set up? Because it appeared like he was making manual decisions, but I'm assuming you can set that up so it effectively looks after itself.
Again, good question. In fact, this customer, and this is back to what I was talking about with the scalability. This customer is using the Solem for now 1 year, a little bit more than 1 year. And instead of managing 100% to automatize 100% of the site, he has automatized, he put controllers on all the valves, but the master valve is still manual. So he is the guy to decide when to open the master valve or to close the master valve. So with the graph I showed you, in fact, every day he's looking at his tensiometry, and depending on the tension inside the soil, he's deciding I need to irrigate or I don't want to irrigate. Okay. The next step for this guy now is just to put LRPM on the master valve, and he will be capable to fully automatize thanks to high threshold and low threshold on the tensiometry. He will be capable to switch on to switch off automatically the master valve.
Brilliant.
So the facility is there to be automatic.
Yeah. So this is a good example for a customer to go step by step and not to go to the full solution immediately, but you have time and you can do what you want. You can go to the full solution, but you can scale step by step.
Brilliant. Thanks, Simon. I think you can also unmute yourselves as well if you want to ask a question by your microphone. I've had a question from Jeremy. If using 2 water sensors, could you set a minimum and maximum moisture level?
Yes.
And automate the system to operate outside of regular programmed intervals?
Yes. Maybe next time it could be great to have a second visual in order to show you in deep detail the water management. Indeed, for each sensors, you have the opportunity to deploy or to define two thresholds, low threshold, high thresholds. For the water meter, you can define, for example, the daily consumption, and you can decide what is the low level, the low daily consumption, the high daily consumption. Regarding the high daily consumption, as soon as the water meter will go over this threshold, the system will raise an alert, send it back to the cloud, and you will receive a push notif on your cell phone and or an email to the email you would have defined. For the low threshold, for the low consumption, it will be the next day at 7 a.m. The system will check what was the water consumption the day before. And if the water consumption is below the low rate or the low threshold, you will receive again an alert to say, hey, be careful because you didn't irrigate what you were expecting.
Okay.
And after that, we are as well capable to manage for each station. You will define a threshold in percentage to monitor the high flow rate, the risk of high flow rate and low flow rate.
Okay, great. Hope that answers your question, Jeremy. Thank you, Fred. Any other questions?
One other, Fred, am I right in thinking that in terms of, obviously there's, you can see from what we've seen today, there your mind races with a number of applications that potentially would be useful, but occasionally we get asked about people who want to remote monitor, so all they want to do is to, maybe on a green wall system, they perhaps just want to monitor soil moisture levels, or they have maybe a water tank on a job where they just want to see water levels. I'm guessing you can just simply have a module which is effectively not connected to an irrigation system, but just monitor these levels.
Now, this is what is interesting for some of our customers, or I would say especially in agriculture, when you have greenhouses, for example, We have some customers who are who doesn't want to, I would say, to manage manually all the data and all the sensors data and to write it inside the paper. In this case, you are not. It's not necessary or mandatory to make the irrigation with controllers. You can just buy controllers, sensors modules. Buy the sensors, soil moisture, rainfall, water level, as you mentioned, and you will be capable to get back and to retrieve all the information. What I didn't show is that you can export the data. So for example, when you are on the computer, you go to the soil moisture and you can say, okay, for this sensor, I want to export my data in CSV file, Excel file, JSON file, in order to manage it and to type in or to retype or to rebuild, I would say, the information. You do what you want, but you can export the data. So yes, it's not an obligation to have irrigation controllers to use sensors.
Okay. Yeah, you can just use them on their own. Brilliant. Absolutely great. I'll just finish with these two images. I have used these myself and done some trials. This is Penn Golf Club. We put the gateway, connected it to their Wi-Fi in the gatehouse. You can see it at the top. And this irrigation controller is in this valve box. And sure enough, over the internet, not with Bluetooth, we could fire and open and close that without any difficulty. And even at Abbott's, for those of you that are familiar with LWS, Dave Snell and I walked to the end of the field. It was over 300 meters away, and it was still, we ran out of field, and we still were able to operate it over the internet and open and close that valve. So we've got some experience of that. So thank you very much, everybody. We're right on time, and feel free to connect with us. We hope that we can find some applications and we can support you with this new exciting technology. I think it's got lots of applications for irrigation and monitoring and using those two things together. So thanks for joining us. And with that, I wish you a great evening. Oh, maybe we've got one more question coming through before we go. I think Chaim we'll just wait for this one question if you don't mind. Send price list. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you, Chaim. So we will communicate about that. We've got the portfolio in our system, and we'll get that out to you. We'll let you know. And we'll also send you a copy of this video. So again, thanks very much. Thanks, Fred, Simon,
Thank
Dave,
you, Fred.
and thank you all for joining us. It's very much appreciated. Yeah. See you.
I wish you a very nice day and a pleasant evening.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thanks everybody.
See you next time for another video.